Funcom's MMORPG Age of Conan has been out for about 3 weeks now, and if you haven't already tried it out, as many have according to the press releases being sent out, here's how things stand right now. One of the most highly touted elements of the game is that it offers a different style of combat, which it certainly does. Here it's pulled off with some success, as instead of simply using a click-to-auto-attack system, the game actually requires you to hit keys for melee swings. So you use the 1, 2, and 3 keys, and eventually Q and E keys, to correspond to melee swings. You've also got directional shielding you can use to dampen damage, and can dodge by double-tapping directions. The whole system adds some depth and excitement to the normally boring MMO combat system. Now PvP, player versus player combat, is a big draw here, as Age of Conan offers, in addition to player versus environment servers, free-for-all player versus player servers where basically anyone can kill anyone. Using any of the game's 12 classes, you're free to roam the countryside, mercilessly hammering on unsuspecting players if you so desire, or joining up with a guild and roaming in bands to increase your chances of survival on the open plains, protect resource nodes, or grinding areas. The open PvP also works with the fiction on which the game is based, pulp writer Robert E. Howard's sword and sorcery tales from earlier in the 20th century. It's a brutal, relentless, and tribal affair, and helps, at least right now, maintain your attention during some of the PvE content gaps Funcom has yet to fill in. Like any MMO near its launch period, there are rough spots. The game is buggy with regards to its quests, crafting, PvP features, town building, and class skills. And because it's missing content in spots, forcing you to grind instead of quests, it's a good reason to stay away for a few months until Funcom fixes some of the more major issues. They've said they're going to, so they're certainly aware of many of the problems, and in a few months' time it'll probably be a much better game. Those issues aside, Age of Conan still has a good basic structure. In Tortage, the starting town, you'll find a nice amount of content to get you from level 1 to around 19 or 20. It's got quest chains that lead to boss fights and offer some nice rewards across a few different styles of adventuring dungeons. From there, depending on which race you're playing as, you're off to the deserts of Stygia, the mountains of Samaria, or the more verdant regions of Aquilonia for your 20 to 40 experience. Around 50 though, questing starts to dry up, making it clear that Funcom just didn't get all the content they wanted to in before launch. Classes are still interesting to play as, however. In total, there's 12 broken into 4 categories. Soldiers are the frontline melee fighters, rogues and mages deal damage with varying special effects, and priests are the primary healers. There aren't strict class restrictions in the game, however. Most are hybrids. The Bear Shaman, for instance, is both a melee fighter and a healer. The Tempest of Set is a priest type, but hammers on foes with devastating area of effect magical attacks. The Ranger deals damage with a bow or crossbow, but also has a variety of melee attacks. These kinds of features ensure you can play the game solo, if that's the style you prefer, or you can always go in a group to challenge some of the game's tougher content, or just generally cause chaos in the battlefield in PvP. To take a break from the leveling, you'll find a still buggy crafting system which opens up at level 40, lets you create weapons, armors, potions, and more. There's also an architect skill that allows you, through your guild, to build up structures in your guild town that lets you participate in a siege system and enhanced crafting that unfortunately hasn't yet been fully implemented. However, it's still a nice way to get everyone in the guild working together, pooling resources and money to work toward a group goal. But ultimately, all you want to know is it worth signing up for an Age of Conan subscription right now? I'd say hold off a few months until Funcom gets around to patching some more of the game. There's certainly a good base of gameplay here, and it'll be much more easily enjoyed once more of the features have been filled in. For the full written review, check out pc.ign.com.
What now, my lord?
Now we sound the bells of war.